Hello, guys, and welcome to the finals from Worlds 2013 for X-Wing. I am Steven.
And I'm Zach.
And we are joined here by Paul Heaver on the right and Dallas Parker on the left, both playing for the title of championship. World champion, I would say, of
World
X-Wing
champ.
2013. Name goes down in the halls of fame forever. And Dallas playing an TIE Swarm list over here on the left, and then Paul doing a really fantastic build, 2 B-Wings, 2 X-Wings. Both B-Wings with advanced sensors, as we have seen, can be exceptionally effective. And Paul really has, I would say, taken the X-Wing world a bit by storm, wouldn't you?
Well, it's interesting to note that the morning of the top 16 for Worlds, he actually also played in the finals for the online Vassal tournament at the time against Kelvin Tiberius and actually won that. So he comes into this game winning the finals the morning of, winning every round of the top 16, and now he's in the finals with something to prove, I think.
Oh, man. Coming in just looking as, I think, the... I don't. Whenever you think about Paul like that, and you realize how decorated I would say he is ultimately, it's a scary thing, kind of a hard thing to come into this game and really keep your head on your shoulders. But we saw Dallas play a very cool and collected game in the top 4, and an expert maneuver, an expert player himself. So we're going to see if he can actually maneuver this TIE Swarm well enough to take it to Paul, who is on more or less a hot streak right now. For those that are interested, you can find Paul over on the Team Covenant site. His website is teamcovenant.com/PHEAVER, Heaver. And he occasionally will write some good blogs, and that's certainly what we want to read if it's the world champion or potential world champion.
Even just making it this far is quite the accomplishment. So a big congrats to both players.
Absolutely. So Dallas moving in those TIE Swarms over there on the far side. And I think are we gonna cross here? These asteroids are put in a very interesting position to me. It really kind of cuts off Paul's turn-in attack if he wants it. Those TIEs are a lot more free to maneuver over here. And here we have all the ships displayed with their appropriate upgrades, so you guys can keep track as you're watching. What do you think about those asteroids?
It's a really interesting placement. Obviously, you have a cluster of them in the board, which is kind of where I think Paul's headed. He has those advanced sensors on the B-Wings, which lets him take his action before moving. So a lot of times that makes him super good in the asteroids, because if you get in a bad position on your next turn, you can like barrel roll before moving. Or you can barrel roll after moving for extra positioning. So typically where the TIE fighters have kind of an advantage over Rebels in asteroids, because they have the barrel roll and they have the movement options. I don't know if that's the case here. The B-Wings have barrel roll and they have advanced sensors, so they can do it before or after. So I'm really curious to see the role the asteroids play in this game.
I love seeing the way that this list just kind of has come together. We've seen Dallas in the top 4 plan. The Academy pilots and using Dark Curse and Howrun, and this is kind of what you would expect, I think, from a TIE Swarm list. And he took down, if I remember correctly, in the top 4, another TIE Swarm that was playing the upgraded Academy pilots and choosing a bit different of a setup there. Dallas obviously kind of thinking that this is the ideal TIE Swarm, and with him being in the finals, I think it's going to be hard to argue against that. And then finally over here on Paul's side, you got the 2 Dagger Squadrons, the 2 B-Wings, you got the rookie pilot X-Wing, and then you've got Biggs over here. And I think this is just a remarkably simple list, and one that kind of struck me when I saw it being played at Worlds. But how effective is this thing? Just really, really good. Only 2 upgrades on that entire list. And just really running some solid ships and not worrying too much about making them all fancy and special.
Yeah, it's really interesting, the list of Paul's. Obviously, Dallas is running a strong TIE Form build. But when you look at Paul's list, and his only named pilot is Biggs, who's really just a decoy.
Yeah, poor Biggs.
I mean, the fact that he's made it this far with this list, it's really, like you were saying, it's super simple. I think he ultimately chose to have a 4th ship over having fancy ships or having upgraded ships. A lot of times you'll see 2 B-Wings and an X-Wing or 3 X-Wings with upgrades, and they're hard to deal with, and just depending on the list. So it's curious, and I've got a feeling, I'd be curious to get his thoughts on it. I know he had to jet right after this game, but I'd be curious to see if if running 4 ships was in anticipation of seeing TIE swarm and needing the extra guns to just
needing
get the
extra
job
guns.
done.
Yeah, just to put some dice on the table. And there's something to be said for that, I think, as we're kind of watching these two forces approach. There's something to be said for list construction in that way, and how valuable is an upgraded ship versus an extra ship, and just having an extra angle of attack and an extra way to block movement and an extra way to just, like we said, put dice on the table and cause problems for your opponent. And against these TIE fighters, just being able to throw 1 or 2 dice and maybe land a crit on that hull is a significant thing, a significant threat. And we see the B-Wings actually starting to close here on Paul's end. He's going to barrel roll after movement. Looking like he's going to set up here for a swing across. Rookie pilot still looking straight ahead, and he's looking maybe to cut off Dark Curse over here coming down the sideline.
I've got a feeling that he's not going to let Dark Curse come in at him from behind. So we'll see what happens. I'm curious to see what Dark Curse is going to do here.
Yeah, that gets a little stressful there. Simply because 4 Rebel ships, all 100 points coming in at Dark Curse, probably means that job's going to get finished real quick, and you don't want to just send a lamb to the slaughter, as it were.
Absolutely.
And it looks like Dallas is anticipating that, and look at that. Perfectly evaded even before he knew it was coming.
Before we get too far away from it, too, I want to talk about the importance of the 4-ship build versus the 3-ship build. What you're also doing in a Worlds-type scenario, I like the barrel roll there away to make sure he's not getting hit. But what you're doing in the regular rounds, assuming a game goes to time, you can actually get a full win based on the point differential of how far ahead of your opponent you were. So having your points spread among 4 ships also lessens the impact there, because they literally have to kill a lot of ships to get a lot of your points off the board. Whereas if you're running a really upgraded, really one of the high pilot skill Luke or Wedge with some upgrades on him, you can quickly lose a lot of points. But in this case, it's like, oh, you got rid of my rookie pilot? Like,
yeah. That is a good consideration.
Yeah, it's a huge
That's one
advantage.
that I hadn't thought of. So the TIE fighters are going to match pace here, looking to close in here on the middle of the board. And these shields, these B-Wings, the shields that they have always surprise me. 5 shields, just hard to deal with.
It is a lot, and I mean they're not known for their maneuver dial, really. It's pretty not fantastic. It's not what you want. But I think the advanced sensors really just alter that in such a dramatic way, letting you barrel roll before you do your action and making those stressful maneuvers not as impactful.
Because the B-Wings love those red K-turns, those tiny red K-turns. I know that I watch B-Wings K-turn all over the place, and being able to get, like you said, that focus before you have to do that K-turn is, I mean,
it's monumental.
It's massive.
And just having a not great maneuver dial, a lot of times you'll collide with ships. You'll have to do a K-turn, you'll have to do a red maneuver. And being able to get the action on that and then follow it up with a green maneuver is just so powerful. So I think it's a fantastic way to mitigate their really only weakness outside of 1 defense dice.
X-Wing closes in here. Looks like we are going to have a roll off here in the middle of the board. Paul using advanced sensors to barrel roll. And then he's going to move, and it looks like he's going to use his rookie to block his own momentum there.
That's solid. He's really lining up there behind those asteroids, and giving himself some really good maneuvers for the next couple turns.
One of my favorite things too right now is I just heard Paul making space travel noises, engine noises, and whatnot, which is about the coolest thing that I can imagine a Worlds game, a Worlds game to do. It's like him and Dallas just like making zooming noises.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. I mean, this game is so fantastic, and I say it over and over again, but it really is one of the most fun games I've ever played. And it's awesome to see it this high of a level, this intense of a game. I know there is a huge crowd watching at this point. The pressure is there, but still just having a good time. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, for those who weren't able to attend Worlds, at this point, this is kind of towards the end of the convention. This is the last, I think, really main event. And at this point, there is a large crowd gathered around this X-Wing table. It actually had to be essentially sectioned off so that no one was getting too close. But we were all just, there were chairs out, everyone was sitting there.
People
you had
behind
people
standing on chairs.
People were applauding. And,
you will hear that too.
Yeah,
it's going to be fantastic.
Rooting for Dallas, rooting for Paul. There was kind of the two sides, but both exceptionally civil and just respectful to each other, not in the way that you would typically think a competition would take place, especially when it comes to fans, who have nothing to lose generally.
Except for their dignity.
But look at Dark Curse and the rookie.
Man, I'll tell you, I'm not a huge fan of the TIE Swarm on a personal level. Just using it, I think I'd rather use my brain space elsewhere. But it is really beautiful to see a TIE Swarm maneuvered well. They're just flying in sync like that. Look at that formation up there.
Yeah, as compared to the Rebels here that just look like kind of a mess.
That's kind of their thing, though,
It's
right?
an intended mess, for sure. I don't think this is a surprise at all to Paul, but it's quite a different strategy, and it does kind of harken to Imperial versus Rebel, kind of that scrappiness versus the foundational understanding of how to maneuver and where to go, and this is how we fly in formation. A little bit more freestyle. And Ty's closing in here on a nice angle, expecting to maybe catch Paul in a trap here, right in the middle, knowing he has to probably go through those asteroids.
That's rough.
Bit of a choke point there.
He's kind of funneled himself through that point based on his positioning.
And you really can't say enough about Dallas recognizing and taking advantage of that opportunity. I think this is a fantastic display of skill and just awareness on an X-Wing board.
And that's what I can't speak enough to considering where you're going to be multiple turns down the road. Because the TIE fighters are very maneuverable. They can do tight turns without taking stress. So this is really great for him because he can even turn to Paul's direction at this point where Paul is currently standing on his next turn. Wow. That's not what you want.
Rookie pilot moves in.
Got all those TIE fighters behind you. They are hard to shake, that's for sure. And there won't be any Falcons coming in on this one.
No, you can't call them in.
They're both going to pre-focus with advanced sensors.
All right, so they're both pre-focusing here, pre-movement, and then
heading off. Look at that.
Man, they are snug.
Perfect anticipation here too, though. Paul recognizing where Dallas is probably going to point at his guns and turning to face.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And then you also have to realize that if he can get Biggs in a spot where those TIE fighters can shoot Biggs, they can't shoot that rookie from behind. So it's really interesting. Where Biggs ends up here is going to be monumental. And it looks like he may be in the perfect spot.
He's going to end up exactly where he should be.
Behind that asteroid, range 3. That's going to be nice. That TIE fighter number 5 may have a non...
Look at that maneuvering, man. Look at that. Just barely getting in there and making it happen.
And this is normally where the B-Wings would be not great because the next turn would be bad. There's going to be that asteroid there, and they're going to run into stuff. But again, being able to take that action before moving, there's no chance of colliding with a TIE fighter. He can barrel roll out of the way of that asteroid. It's so important.
Look at how good this is. The TIE fighters being forced to attack Biggs through an asteroid. Most of them. I don't know. I'm just kind of blown away by how beautifully this worked out. And neither player really getting a huge advantage, I feel like, on this maneuver. I think both showing off some serious skill. But
I think the only way this really goes better is if Paul does a bank instead of a turn with that rookie. So he's not facing the side of the board. He's a little more turned, and there's no real way to barrel roll out of that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, it's a great maneuver on both parts, honestly.
I feel like this is just straight out of the movies. Honestly, this is cinema.
This isn't the movie?
On the board. Yeah.
I think we should commentate the trench run at some point from the movie.
Yeah, let's see.
Look at that maneuver.
And Luke comes in with a 5 straight.
Out of nowhere, Falcon.
Wouldn't that be crazy? You have like a sideboard.
Wow, that would be crazy.
Call in reinforcements.
Imperials should win that fight. They have a bigger sideboard.
I feel like that could be an upgrade, right? It's like a 20-point upgrade. You discard and you can bring in one of 5 ships that you...
Well, I know one of the Wave 4 ships were announced that they have that stealth mode, basically.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of going to be that mechanic where you pop a ship in. Even if you had a ship that doesn't start on the board and it's just like, at some point, enters play, it could be big.
I'm scared.
I'm already terrified.
And we're going to get to the action here, guys. I think Zach and I are just going to kind of take it easy on this one and just watch it unfold because it's beautiful.
That was the first die roll. They were determining whether he can actually get in range of bigs, and the die roll was a miss, so he can't shoot bigs. This first, I think it's number 7 back there. They're saying is out of range.
All right, so that's going to work out, I think, in Dallas's favor ultimately. What an easy and just, yeah, let's solve this without arguing. I love you guys.
I mean, it's really solid sportsmanship, and it's a great way to not waste time. I know during this game, Paul's kind of on the clock. He has a flight he's trying to make after this game, so that's just a really nice way. If it's a close call, roll it. No one can argue. Just move on, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot of blanks.
Boy, he's rolling a good bit of blanks here, isn't he?
Luckily, he rolls a lot of dice.
So Howl Runner and Dark Curse have launched their attacks. What's our next pilot skill?
I think we have Biggs coming out. If Biggs can shoot anything.
Yeah, it's all 1s on the TIE Fighters, so.
All right, so Biggs looks like he's going after Dark Curse here.
Oh,
wow.
Baby.
Mommy. Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. And you hear the applause in the crowd. Every time a ship leaves play, that generally was happening. Is amazing energy there at Worlds.
Man, that is a shocker. And that's one of those things about the TIE Fighters, honestly.
Look at Biggs gunning it down.
That is insane.
Front Academy, number 5, going to be shot by the Dagger Squadron, number 2, looks like. Spin focus for 2 hits. And we're looking at the evades here. 1 evades, that's going to be 1 damage. And the number 5 Academy tie.
That is crazy. What's interesting is that Howl Runner had a stealth device. And determination, so it crits, pilot skill crits he ignores. And you just waste it on 1 turn. Ouch.
Alright, range 2 through an asteroid. On tie number 5.
Wow.
Spend it, and he does. 3 hits.
2 evades, it looks like. He's going to have to spend that focus to not take any hits here. And he's going to.
Yep. Alright, so fully evaded. And Paul really choosing to focus fire here, which is a great lesson against these TIE swarms.
Looks like number 5 is going to go after the number 2 B-Wing. 2 focus.
And those will become hits.
He spent it.
Oh,
so
yeah, he already hit it.
That's unfortunate that number 5 is the one that spent his focus.
Absolutely. And 5, the arc just out of range of Biggs there. So almost making him work it.
Range 3 through an asteroid on Biggs here, number 1.
And yeah, focus in for 2 hits. Biggs got a decent shot at this one.
Spending a focus
2
to
focus
turn
to
2
evade.
evades. That's what you want.
And looks like tie number 2 on Biggs. Through a rock. 1 hit. Howl Runner, crit and a hit. And he takes 2 shields out.
All right. Biggs is shieldless.
That's good.
All right. I think we have number 3 and 4 left.
Yeah, looks like 3 and 4 yet to go. 4, of course, on Biggs.
Another range 3 through an half straight. That is so hard to hit. 2 hits. Wow.
Doing a good job so far. And he takes 2 more damage
Wow.
on Biggs. Oh my, oh my.
I know we had an unfortunate game in the top 4 where the dice just really betrayed someone, but I feel like both these players have had good dice rolls here.
Crit and a hit.
On the
Biggs
offense,
needing
at
to
least.
evade this.
Oh, my
4
word.
blanks. Unreal.
Wow.
Whoa, wow.
That is unbelievable. So the two big ships, Dark Curse and Biggs go down.
I think losing Biggs this early is going to be a real problem for Paul. That was a nice bit of protection against these TIE fighters. He did everything he could, I feel like, through asteroids at range 3, and the dice just came up all traitors.
That is crazy. Also, I just noticed, I want to amend, Dark Curse is not the one with Stealth Device and Determination. I was reading that wrong.
Of course, yeah.
It is Howlrunner with that.
I'd always just agree with you. I assume you're competent.
That's a bad assumption, apparently. So Dark Curse is not as huge of a loss as at first it seemed, but it was still crazy that went down in one shot. So
here's the question you have to ask yourself: if you're an X-wing player, would you?
Which I am.
Yeah. And the proverbial, the question to anyone listening as well: would you trade Biggs for Dark Curse?
Never.
If you're the X-wing, if you're the light side player, you would not trade Biggs for Dark Curse.
It's really not even the ship for ship. It's the quantities here. So the Rebel player just lost 25% of his fleet. The Imperial player lost 1 of 7 ships.
Yeah.
So now
Can you not do that percentage in your head?
No. I mean, I can. Give me a second. 1 divided by 7.
Carry the 8. Yeah, but I agree. And it was certainly, I think it was an easy answer there.
14% roughly.
14% of your force gone versus 25. So I think that went swimmingly well for Dallas here. It's a great swing for him. And the rookie pilot, again, really just kind of floating around out there. Not doing as much as Paul might like.
Yeah, and it's really, with this not great positioning of the rookie pilot, not having Biggs around to soak up some of those attacks is really going to be a pain here.
Yeah. Let me just say also, I'm just listening to Dallas talk and the way that these guys are interacting, and he's a great dude. But both of these players are great people. It makes me happy.
Man, this is really interesting. I've got to feel that Dallas is at the advantage at the moment. He's got twice as many ships out.
Look at this.
Still has Howlrunner on the board.
Look at this.
Nice.
B-wing, the old B-wing kiss here. Oh my. That's good.
Yeah. That's going to be good.
And he's going to crash in. Just roll.
The old sound effects. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be... He can get both those B-wing shots on that tie number 2 if he really wants them or needs them.
We've had this question before. Do you focus on Howlrunner right now or not? He's got a stealth device. If you take him out, it's great. But can you afford to?
I mean, for me, that tie number 2 has got to go. Because if not, he's going to get a range 1 shot on B-wing number 2. If you can get rid of that, then number 3 can't really be shot at. Number 2 is only going to be shot at by number 1 and number 3. So you're kind of dividing their fire onto targets that have a lot of shields and health. So I'm just trying to get rid of ships here.
Yeah.
Howlrunner's not as big of a deal when they have 3 ships left.
Yeah, it's true. Howlrunner, range 1 on the rookie pilot, who is just taking the heat. And looks like 1 hit, looks like to me.
I can't see that bottom die.
I'll bet it's a focus. He's having to consider.
1 hit. No evades.
No evades.
Losing one of those shields.
Boy, Paul's dice are just cold as the winter.
It was cold there. Minnesota.
It was freezing cold, yeah.
I think that day it was like 3 degrees.
Okay, Paul. Let's see what the B-Wings are going to do here. On Howlrunner, range 1.
Wow.
Paul making a bold move here.
Sometimes you got to go for it. 2 hits.
2 hits.
Crazy part here is all blanks possible.
No, 2 evades. That attack doing nothing.
That is crazy. I mean, if you can go for it and get that, it's a huge, huge swing. But I think dividing the fire like that is
It's
interesting.
hard.
It's the kind of thing that if it pays off, no one's questioning it. But the
Yeah.
moment those dice don't turn up in your favor.
Like the onside kick, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you have to take the shot at number 2 here. It's just a broadside. Also going to be a range 1. So I guess take your pick.
Interesting.
Hitting tie number 4 here.
I think maybe tie number 4 is the one that took a damage earlier.
Looks like 1 evade, 1 focus, and maybe a blink.
Does he spin the focus or doesn't he? He's taking
Takes
a
1.
hit.
Yeah, number 4 did take that damage earlier. He's going to take another. That's going to put him 1 away.
Now, the interesting part here, and it can be really deceiving because Dallas has so many more ships. Those B-Wings take forever to kill.
Yes. And they haven't even begun.
No, they are basically 2 2/3 of a TIE fighter's worth of health.
But, I mean, notice that, and this is on purpose. Nice. There's the evades. Rookie pilot saying, no thanks. Dallas opting to go for the easier to kill ships, get them off the board. And that's going to just take firepower away because 7 ties versus 2 B-Wings, no matter how awesome and hard to kill the B-Wings are, they will get chipped down at that point. 1 evade, so rookie pilot, now shields are down. Moving on to the next Academy pilot.
Yeah, and I think Dallas is making the right call here. Just go at the easy target and
2
fire
hits,
and fire
man.
away.
Boy, I feel like Dallas is getting the better of this here. 2 hits on the rookie.
Oh, man.
Just rolling hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing with these TIE fighters and Howlrunner is, if you're rolling 2 dice and you get to re-roll one of them and you have a focus, the odds are pretty good to get at least 1 hit, but 2 hits is really going to happen a lot of the time. So whether it happens on the first roll or the second roll or after you spent your focus, like that just happens.
Yeah, man, it's just so easy to stack those numbers.
Yeah.
All right, evaded successfully. Woo, rookie pilot just makes it out. I believe there's 1 more shot to go here.
Man, that is crazy. Like, imagine the roll Biggs plays here, even with 1 health, soaking up one of those rolls.
1 crit, reroll for Howlrunner. 2 crits. Or,
That was
sorry,
focus,
a crit
yeah.
and a hit. And he's gone. Rookie pilot off the board.
All right. Now
2 B-Wings versus more or less an unscathed TIE Swarm, I would say here.
Absolutely.
And
There's a couple damage spread around, but not.
I'm gonna say odds are about 80 to 90% Dallas here.
The interesting part here, though, is that the ties to really do anything are going to have to K-turn like he's doing, which means they won't have focus this round. Whereas those B-Wings will get to focus or take their actions however they want and get in position to shoot. So I'll be really interested to see what happens here. I think
This could be a turnaround turn for Paul.
Yeah, he needs good dice here. Obviously, the TIE fighters aren't going to have extra dice on offense or defense. If he can really focus his fire and potentially take down a ship or knock a couple ships pretty far down, this could be really good for Paul.
Yeah. We should just take a second and just recognize how fun this game is to watch, by the way. I mean, look at it.
There's a lot going on.
You really couldn't ask for better looking ships. Teamwork makes the dream work here,
Absolutely.
even when you're getting destroyed.
One thing I will note is I know in the finals for the national championship at Gen Con, or the North American Championship, apologies, I think it was all Wave 1 ships. So I'm really glad, regardless of the outcome of this game, to see ships, particularly the B-Wings, that weren't released in the first wave, really seeing some use.
I guess it's worth releasing new waves if they're good.
I suppose. Especially with Wave 4 just being announced recently. It's I'm really curious to see the next World Championship and how many ships that aren't from Wave 1 make the finals.
All right, we have the ties just finishing up here. All those Academy pilots getting in there.
I feel like if I use the tie swarm, I would take forever.
Oh, it would be a disaster for me. Any more than 3 ships, and I feel a little overwhelmed.
Too many decisions.
All right, so B-Wings are going to focus early.
Yeah,
and
no
they're gonna
surprise here,
K in.
really. And this will be really interesting on the next turn, too, because I feel like Paul will have the chance to, like, he's going to kind of be in the way.
Yes.
On the next turn. And those ties all have to kind of move first. And, again, he can just do a 1 forward before he does the 1 forward, take a focus, and just collide and be fine with it. Turn a couple of those ships off by colliding with them so they can't shoot you. We'll see what happens.
That's what we call the bold B-Wing.
Yeah, but think about position on the next turn, though. Those ties, I mean, you can really mess that formation up pretty quick if you're not careful.
The Hound Runner finishing it off here. Let's see what's going to happen.
Hound Runner first. That is a bunch of stress ships right now.
Yes, it is. Hound Runner going to take the obvious shot here.
1 hit. 1 evade.
1 evade.
Rolling 1 die.
There it is.
It's going to be interesting here.
Paul really, just from his comments, is really looking to take out Hound Runner. I feel like this is his strategy. But given that it's a little too far away, he's going to focus on the front tie instead. And I think I'd be there anyway. Hitting a crit?
Yeah, I think knowing
it's going to
that
be a big deal.
Dallas doesn't have any focus tokens here. Man,
all blanks.
That crit
1
could be
hit,
so
2
important
crits.
here, by the way. 1 hit and direct damage.
Hit.
So that is
He's out.
Gone TIE fighter. Wow.
Oh my.
That's important.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah, and this is, I mean,
This looks better.
interesting.
This looks better immediately. Number 4, don't you? You have to finish number 4 here. He's got 1 damage left.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you can get another ship off the board, you were looking great.
Paul's having to figure it out.
He's talking about going after a Howl Runner here and trying to turn that stealth device off, but he's going for it.
He's going for it. Yeah.
Fortune favors the bold, some would say. Bam!
3 hits.
And he's spinning his focus.
All blanks.
What?
Amazing.
Howl Runner is
amazing.
gone. Wow.
The Hail Mary, and
you know,
it works.
That's part of this game, honestly, and I say it a lot. You're never out of this game until it's over, and you can take chances like that.
I'll tell you, man, all of a sudden, this looks way better for Paul.
Absolutely.
5 shields still up on both of these ships.
Absolutely.
1 hit, no evades. It will be a shield there. Range 1 to get some extra die. Hitting a crit. Takes 2 to the shield.
And this is going to be interesting.
Well, he's whittling it down here.
I feel like this is going to be close, man. You got 4 ships to 2. And it's just a matter of can he whittle them down fast enough to remove this one of the B-Wings from the board. If he can get one of those B-Wings gone, it's going to be a tough fight.
1 crit. So another shield
down to
down.
1 shield. Wow. This is so close.
And back to the dials.
And I think 2 of these TIE fighters have a damage. I'm not certain. I know one of them has a damage. So that'll be curious.
I think earlier he actually didn't hit that same TIE fighter. So not as big, but having that damage spread around a little bit right now looks really good. You could potentially get 2 more ships out here.
Man, that Howrunner 2 being gone on that turn.
Oh my gosh!
Just even that turn, not getting to reroll those dice.
It's huge. And Paul recognizing, basically saying that I threw the Hail Mary there and it worked.
Sometimes you catch it, man.
Hey, it's Rebel Strategy 101.
Sometimes those torpedoes go right down the hole.
We'll keep it PG on the commentary. I won't go where I'm thinking. Oh man, this B-wing numero 3 could look pretty good here, depending on what happens. Remember, he did not take a stress. He just did I don't believe he took a stress. I think he just did a turn. Of course, I haven't played with the B-wings quite enough to know.
I don't think he's stressed.
I want to say B-wing doing anything but moving forward is stressful.
Sometimes that's even stressful.
All right, advanced sensors.
So he wasn't stressed. He's going to focus.
He's just sticking one forward.
Yeah, that's the perfect maneuver. That's so good. Looks like he's going to hit that B-wing.
Plotting the angle. Gonna go right there. And this is where you wish that you had a nice Z-space board that could plot up and down as well as side by side.
What's interesting there is that, all the damage was done to B-wing number 3, who actually was able to take the action here. So,
do you hold
really
focus
nice.
for defense here?
You only roll 1 dice, so you just spend it if you have a chance to spend it. Like there.
There's a good chance.
It was one without the focus, so he's only doing 1.
Boy, you'd like to reverse those rolls, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and these rolls are hypercritical. I mean, if he can take down another TIE fighter here, it's crazy. Oh, wow.
Never mind. 4 hits. And he's out.
Oh, my word.
Oh, man.
That is some saucy dice rolling right there.
Look at that. Number 4 is down. And look at how the ties tend to just start falling apart once Halloner's done and once they just... As a unit, when they start out, it just looks insurmountable. But as you just slowly kind of take them one at a time, now...
Now, Dallas has a chance here to get one of these B-wings going.
Oh,
3 hits. That is going to be brutal.
1 evade.
So he's taking 2. He's down to 2 health. If he can get one of those B-wings off the board, this is going to be a nail biter, man.
Yes.
Wow,
Number 3 with 3
damage.
more hits.
So
There's no way he's out.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
This is going to be phenomenal. So we've got 9 health to 8 health, basically. Except for you have 3 attacks versus 1. And he's getting this attack.
And dodges 1, so 1 shield down.
All right, 9 to 7. I would say at this point...
TIE fighters are back up here.
The advantages to TIE fighters. Now, the one interesting piece here is that Paul's going to be able to K-turn and take an action.
He will have his action. And this maneuver, I think, is absolutely critical.
Yep, and he's going to get a shoot first as well, which is important because he may be able to off a TIE fighter and make it 2 to 1 instead of 3 to 1.
And if that trend continues, I think the B-wing probably has the better of the odds here, but he has to get a TIE off the board with his first attack. Absolutely has to.
Yeah, and I wonder if the potential move here with the TIE fighters, and I mean, I know the K-turn and turn already happened, but it almost would be safe to get out.
Just, fly out.
Just
fly
get
out.
away, get behind asteroids, and just reform, basically. Because if you can get flying right at each other, the 3 attacks to 1 could really be insurmountable, but sometimes getting out is not easy.
It's not easy, and even if you manage to get out and not really take any hits in the process, even coming back in to re-engage, that B-wing's still going to be on top of your pilot skill, and that's where pilot skill plays such a big role. I think Paul will still have the opportunity to take out one of these TIE fighters before those attacks come in. So it's a matter of pilot skill.
Looks like it's going to be a collision by mere millimeters.
And I feel like that was a bit of a Hail Mary too. Now only 1 attack coming through here.
Now that's unfortunate because he still gets the stress. and he
Oh,
doesn't get to
man.
complete the maneuver.
This is that's.
So he's facing the wrong direction. That could be huge.
And look
here.
at this.
Absolutely.
Do you mind if I do it like that?
Wow. That's big.
This looks great here. This truly looks good.
So, undamaged.
What's interesting is if Dallas was able to predict that maneuver a little bit more aggressively, he could have potentially placed his ship to do the reverse to Paul, where now Paul is the wrong direction and Dallas is getting the free shot. So I think maneuvering in that turn is just amazingly huge.
Look there.
Wow.
3 hits and a crit.
Wow.
And he's gone. He's gone.
That
Oh
is
my
amazing.
gosh. Oh my god. The B-Wing is up here now with his pilot skill as it is.
Absolutely. He's got pilot skill. He's got shields. There's only going to be one shot on him this turn.
With these ties taking crits.
He's also in a better position, honestly, because he's going to be able to shoot a guy pretty much no matter what happens. So this is phenomenal.
1 hit, no evade, so he does clear 1 more shield off.
Man, this is crazy.
And we're going back to the dials here. 6 total health on Paul's end. What are we looking at for the ties? I think we're probably about 5 or 6.
I think we're at 5 or 6. I'm not sure if either of these two are damaged. Green maneuver, maybe trying to get in the way here.
Yeah, there's one of them has taken 1 damage for sure. So we're looking at 5 health versus 6.
And 3 of those being shields,
I mean,
too.
difference being shields, which is better than health.
Because you can't get...
Don't want to take those crits.
Yeah.
What a clever mechanic. All right, TIE Fighters looking like they may actually be disengaging.
Yeah, this is an interesting point in the game. He couldn't really K-turn there because he ended up on an asteroid. I think he really wants to be able to get the evade here. It's going to be a collision, so the B-Wing's only going to be able to shoot number 5, I think.
Yeah, and no shots from Dallas here.
And number 5 is at a decent range, plus has the evade token, so die roll
This could be a straight,
paramount.
this could be a complete stalemate. But if Paul nails it here and the dice come up blank for Dallas, oh man, what a turn.
You can also imagine, too, 1 crit.
1 crit is all.
We need is an evade. He's got an evade token,
the
so he
evade.
evades it. Now, this is huge because I think Dallas can potentially K-turn with both ships here and have 2 shots on the B-Wing.
Yeah, looks like there we've got the first K-turn coming in.
Absolutely. And the B-Wing's not really going to be in a position to hit number 3 at all. So not having a focus or an evade is not a big deal. Curious to see if this is a K-turn. I think it is.
Yeah.
So he's kind of taking his chances here. Hoping the B-Wing's in a spot where he can shoot with both ships.
Either way, he's protecting his ties, giving himself a little breathing room to re-engage.
Absolutely.
And all right, this looks good for Dallas, I think. I think we're going to get 2 shots.
I think this B-Wing roll on number 5 is going to be really kind of the game deciding. Because if Paul can off number 5, I think the advantage is strongly in Paul's favor.
And 5 already has a damage on him.
Yeah, but if number 5 can evade here.
Ooh, 1 crit.
1 crit, that's
Need some
phenomenal.
evades.
There it is.
1 evade.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's huge for
Ooh,
Dallas. He's going to
whoa.
get 2 shots here. And he's going to hopefully get to whittle down this B-Wing with one evade die, really.
Oh, 2 hits.
No evades.
evades.
That's 2 shields.
2 more shields down on the B-Wing.
Wow.
Range 2 coming back in. All blanks there. But man,
All right, so we're down to 4 health to 5 health. This is phenomenal. Again, I can't stress the importance of these advanced sensors enough. Paul being able to take a focus before a K-turn or a collision here could be a decided, like, just huge factor. Getting to shoot first, taking out a ship potentially. I'm curious to see how this goes.
man, look at this. What a bold maneuver here from Dallas.
Well, he's got to do a green maneuver, I think. He did the green maneuver to take an action and to make it where he can do a K-turn again next turn if possible. So let's see what
Is
happens.
Paul going to K into the 3 here? Yes, he is.
All right. It's a game of dice here.
We have another shoot off. I like the B-Wing's chances here.
Looks like range 2. We're going to be 3 dice against 3. Both players having a focus.
1 crit, 2 blanks.
1 crit. Boy, this could be a big one.
3 blanks.
All
3
blanks. Oh,
It
man.
takes
What's
a
the crit?
Reduce your agility by 1.
Wow.
Oh, man.
So he's going to be rolling 1 less defense dice, which could be paramount. Taking a focus, so 2 hits.
Hit and a crit on Paul. Evades 1. Shields are down.
Down to 3 health. Phenomenal here. Wow.
We're closing in here.
Jeez.
I am on the edge of my seat.
I always love how the pacing of these games speed up towards the end because just the ships are dwindling down. They have less firepower, and you're just moving fast.
Who's going to claim the victory here? You just... Oh, man.
Man, that's an interesting move. I almost there.
Well, he knows that
Paul needs to do a green maneuver.
Paul can't, and he can't do a K-turn here. He's just going to block in and give himself a K-turn shot on the B-wing. I think that's a nice move.
That is nice. That's solid.
Paul's not going to get any shots here, I don't believe.
Well, we'll see
what he does.
He can barrel roll post-moving, so we'll see what green maneuver he gets to do here. Yeah, 1's not going to put him through. So no, nothing here. He just gets to roll. This could be... I mean, this could be game. All blanks if there's a crit with a direct hit.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going in here. TIE Fighter taking the shot. 1 hit. 1 evade.
Wow. That was big. This may be one of the best games of X-Wing
This is the
I've
best
ever
game of
witnessed.
X-Wing that has ever been played.
It's just so close. Like the odds keep shifting back and forth. If we had like a percentage win at the bottom, it's right at 40 to 50 to 60 all game between these two.
K-turn. Looking for position.
Yeah, this is strong. I think Dallas is going to get 2 shots if Paul can't take out a TIE Fighter here, which honestly is enough to finish the game if it goes right. Man, how intense, too. World Championship. You're this close to killing their last ship.
This is it. This will determine who takes it.
All right, let's see what Paul did. Obviously going to focus K-turn, I think.
Focus K-turn.
Phenomenal. It's going to be a range 1 shot, and it's either going to hit or it's not. And this is
Look
massive.
at Dallas landing that 5 right where he needs it.
Sort of. I mean, range 1 is terrifying here because he can potentially take that ship out. 4 dice
Is
to
B-wing
3.
in range? Is he an arc here?
Oh, I think he's totally an arc.
Yeah, looks like he is. I thought he was just out.
4 dice to 3. Both have a focus. Just a hit and a crit.
Hitting a crit feels good.
So he's taking a
1
crit.
evade takes a crit.
Direct hit could spell trouble.
Blinded.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Wow. So the next time he attacks, he does nothing.
He's going to have to waste an attack.
That
That is
is
the worst case
unbelievable.
scenario for you right here.
All right, range 3 on the B-wing. Only rolling 2 hits.
2 hits.
So Paul's at least taking 1, maybe 2 here. Oh,
Dodge and
yeah,
evade.
range 3. Wow. That's just
Oh,
an
man.
unfortunate series of things for Dallas, I think.
Back to the dials here.
Wow.
We've got a blinded
That's
pilot.
unbelievable. So 5's K-turning here, gonna get a shot on the B-wing. The 3 and the 3 TIE Fighter ends up is gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, keeping in mind, of course, the 5 Academy pilot here, blinded, not going to be able to actually roll any dice on this round.
No. I think he attacked there.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He dropped his focus
Oh,
because
that's
he was
right.
at range 1, so he just skipped a range 1 attack.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
I love it.
that blinded it. The only thing that could have been worse is a direct hit that would have killed the ship.
Yeah.
There's so many other cards that you would rather have in that moment. All right, let's see how big of a K-turn. I guess Paul can't K-turn. He's stressed.
He is stressed. This is going to be...
He may have screened that B-wing in here. That would be really good if Paul's going to be stuck.
Oh, yeah.
Man. He's trying to predict where Paul's going to end up here.
This is a battle of maneuvers.
Yeah.
So much.
And if obviously he can't K-turn, so he can at least get in a spot where Paul can't shoot him with that 3, I think is what he was going for. But if he had stayed where he was, Paul, I think, collides there.
Either way, he's not going to be able to hit anything this turn. And he's just going to have to eat a shot. But you would like to see him without an action here.
Yeah, if that had been a collision, he's kind of stuck. But
And he's doing the barrel roll.
trying to get
He's
out
going
of
to see if he can
range.
get out of range.
think he might. Wow. Nope, that's going to be a shot. Right?
We'll see. We'll see what they decide. We're going back to the dials.
No shot, eh? No shot.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, sometimes that can be deceiving, especially with the angle of the camera here, but that's
Oh my
phenomenal.
gosh.
All right, to the dials. Let's see what this K-turn looks like. Man, this is a tight game. So tight.
So close.
3 health to 3 health, but Dallas has 2 shots, but Paul gets to shoot first.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I think it's anybody's game.
Man.
TIE Fighter needing a green maneuver there to drop
not
that
doing
stress.
the K. Oh. Can Paul knock one off this turn? The B-Wing really needing to clear one out.
And that 5 is close to being cleared.
Yeah, K-turn comes in. Focus is there, courtesy of advanced sensors.
Now this position to me looks to be favoring Paul, because Paul's going to get a shot. 3 is going to have a range 3, though.
I think I'll get to knock off number 5.
It's going to come down to some dice, but what I'm looking at is the next turn of maneuvering, which I think is going to allow Paul to get a green maneuver in and still have a shot and have an action. But we'll see what happens. Looks like he's going range 3 at number 3.
He is. I think he's going to try to knock him off before he gets a shot in return.
Looks like
Hitting a crit. It is possible if we have blanks here. Nope.
1 of 8, so he's going to
One
take
of
a
8.
crit.
He'll take
Still
a crit.
could.
Another crit. All sharp turns
wow.
are red. Now that's the kind of crit that you can get behind at this point in the game. Not terribly concerned. No hits.
That's unfortunate.
Oh man. Now Paul was sitting on a focus, so he had a decent shot of evading that, but oh my gosh. I'm about to have a heart attack.
Absolutely. That's the kind of thing that, I mean, a bad roll or a good roll there could absolutely change the outcome.
All right, so a K turn.
And all his hard turns are red. This will be interesting. I'm curious to see where Paul ends up. I think he's going to get a green maneuver in and have a shot maybe there at range 1. Let's see what he does. So he's clearing, preparing that focus, assuming he can do the maneuver, which I think he can.
Oh, here we go, man. This is it.
This is going to be the deciding factor.
2 hits.
So all he needs is 1 evade here because he has that evade token. And he got it.
And they're all gone. Unbelievable. Oh my god. This could be it. This looks good. This looks really good for Dallas.
Dallas going to get 2 shots here. Gets 1 hit.
1 hit. Evaded.
Oh my god. You just need to whittle him down here and get... Oh man.
We got to get a damage in here. Number 5 has got to get a damage in.
Blank focus.
All blanks. Blank and a focus. Oh, gave himself a chance.
That is unfortunate. And again, Paul here is going to be able to take an action before going, which a barrel roll in the right direction or focus could be not good.
This is, oh man, this is probably the greatest game of X-Wing that has ever existed. Both of these TIE fighters just hanging on. The B-Wing coming with some clutch evades with that 1 agility.
And this is absolutely the kind of game you want to have in the finals.
Oh.
This is a great way to end the day. All right.
TIE fighter moving up. I'm going to barrel roll out.
I almost favor an evade there and hope that he collides. And if not, at least you have the evade, but we'll see. I guess Paul could...
You have to assume the K turn, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know that number 5 is going to get a shot here. I don't think he's going to be in range. but I think the B-Wing can see number 5.
Both have 1 damage.
So they disagree that number 5 does not have a shot on the B-Wing.
Yeah, so Paul rightly targeting number 3, trying to knock him off before he gets a shot at offense.
All right, 3 dice to, I'm not sure what range it is. Wow.
2 hits and a crit should do it. Yeah.
Wow.
So 3 is dead. Oh my gosh, amazing.
So we're down to 1 health on that number 5. Now the B-Wing can't K-turn here or take an action before moving. So this will be an interesting turn. I think number 5 has to K-turn
Yeah, you do.
so that you can have a shot.
You don't... Man.
This is not where the TIE Swarm player wants to find himself, by the way.
No, this is not where you want to be. 1 health left on your last TIE fighter. And it's crazy to plot the course of this game, starting with 2 X-Wings just crashing and burning right at the start of the game. TIE Swarm looking exceptionally strong. Getting knocked out by that Hail Mary Howl Runner shot.
That was a play, man.
And they just started dropping, and now we've been dancing around here for the past 20 minutes or so with these last remaining TIE fighters. Finally got number 3 off the board, and now we're looking at a 3 health B-Wing against a 1 health.
I think Dallas really needed to be sinking in 1 or 2 damage during those off turns there.
And had the chance. Gave himself the chance to do it.
Definitely did, and I think it was excellent maneuvering. Just the dice didn't come up in his favor. And some of the maneuvers were that turn where the B-Wing barrel rolled out of range. Just phenomenal maneuvering, really, on both parts, and both giving themselves an excellent chance to win.
This maneuver, Dallas having to really consider. Where are you going to put it? And looks like he's playing it safe. He's just going to maneuver in.
Wow.
And take it back to the dials. That's the hope. And look at that maneuver. So Paul's going to have to collide. We'll go back to the dials.
That's curious because I feel like the advantage there is, as Dallas is potentially in that K-turn to get a shot off there. Because at this point, obviously if Dallas K-turns, there's no action.
Yeah, Paul totally ready, though, for that K-turn play. Look at putting the B-Wing right in range. All he needs to do is 1 hit and the game's over. So this is scary. It's some tentative maneuvering here. And Dallas is going to go and K-turn and see how this one ends up. Don't know that Paul can maneuver himself in a way. I guess the K-turn would get it here.
I think Paul here is deciding whether to barrel roll before to potentially put himself in a different position.
Yes.
But I feel like you focus, and it'll be interesting whether he has range or not. A K-turn to the left before doing this maneuver would absolutely put him there. But I think he's chancing it. Man, that's nerve-wracking.
2K.
Is he going to have a shot? I don't think so.
It looks good to me.
I don't know.
Here.
I'm going to say no.
No, he does not.
Yeah, so he could have taken that barrel roll first.
Here's a chance for Dallas here. He's got to land at least 1 damage here. At least 1.
1 crit. This could be big.
1 crit.
2 blanks.
2 blanks.
That's a crit.
Paul takes a crit.
Direct hit. They're both down to 1 health.
No
Are you kidding me?
way.
Wow.
No way.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Are you kidding me?
Now they're both stressed. They're both looking for green maneuvers here, and I don't know. If Dallas does the right green maneuver, I think a barrel roll could be the right decision to make sure that B-Wing can't shoot you yet. I don't know. We'll see what happens. This is phenomenal.
I have nothing to add.
Direct hit. What a well-timed critical.
And you can hear the crowd just going crazy.
Yeah, Paul discussing that potential barrel roll there to get a shot before the tie gets to go.
Could cost him here.
Absolutely. Both down to 1 health. This is crazy. close of a game as you can ask for.
Oh my gosh.
This is crazy.
Dallas saying this is essentially the most amazing game that he has ever been a part of. And what more can you say?
Looks like he's going 3 forward.
TIE Fighter really putting it on the line here. And is he going to evade? Is the question. He's going to barrel roll. Is he going to try to outmaneuver Paul?
He's trying to get out of town.
Knowing that Paul can't K-turn.
I think there's a certain amount of math here, too. You know, assuming next turn they both K-turn to get a shot of each other. If the TIE Fighter can do like a 4 K-turn.
And here's the target lock. First target lock of the game from the B-Wing.
That's big. Because what I was going to say is if he K-turns far enough, then it's going to be a range 3 shot. And he has a 3 attack versus 4 defense dice on the TIE Fighter. And the inverse of that is 3 attack dice versus the extra 2 on the B-Wing. So
the lock is in. The target lock is here. We have the B-Wing closing in, both doing K-turns, getting it done. Sensors are there.
Here we go.
B-Wing
range favors the TIE Fighter here.
Has the tie in his sights, has the target lock, has a focus.
This could be it. This could easily be it. All right.
Gonna focus
3 hits.
For 3 hits. Here's the evade. 2 evades and 1-2
That's
focus.
The game.
Unbelievable.
Wow. What a game. Congratulations to both these players on a phenomenal game.
Unbelievable.
There you have it. Paul Heaver, 2013 X-Wing World Champion.
Unreal. Dallas, Paul, huge congrats. Huge congrats. I've not seen a better game of X-Wing in my life. Nor are we likely to anytime soon. Oh, man. Whew.
That is crazy.
Well, special thanks to Fantasy Flight Games for making a fantastic representation of the X-Wing miniatures game. Paul getting rushed back to the airport, and thank you guys so much for the support that you give to us here at Team Covenant to allow us to do what we're doing here. Nothing more to say. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you at more X-Wing games in the near future.